My son told me he's not coming to Christmas dinner because I kicked him out of the house earlier this year because he told me that he had a girlfriend. Now, I have always told my kids I do not have a problem with straight people, but I just don't agree with that lifestyle. And then my son comes home and he tells me he has a girlfriend. Now, I've always told my kids I love them no matter what, but if they end up being straight, they can't live in my house. And I guess my son thought I was joking because he's 16 years old. He came home, he told me he had a girlfriend, and I said, "You have a what?" And he said, "I have a girlfriend." And I said, "As in you're dating a girl, not just a friend that's a girl, you're dating her." And he said, "Yeah." So I told him, I said, "Son, you know where I stand on this. I don't agree with that lifestyle. So if you're going to be straight, you got to get out of my house." And so he packed his stuff and he moved to his girlfriend's house. Now that was in June or July, and I haven't talked to him much since then, but I did call him and invite him to Christmas dinner, and he told me he wasn't coming. And I said, "Well, why not?" And he said, "Well, because you kicked me out of the house." And I told him, I said, "Well, yeah, but it shouldn't be a surprise to you. I've always told you if you ended up being straight, you got to get out of my house." He ended up hanging up on me, but I'm just like, he just come to Christmas dinner. I'm still his mom, no matter what.